All right, I'm not even going to say this is the last time I'm trying to record this because I keep saying that and I keep redoing it. My throat keeps getting dry. I keep coughing, and I don't like to cough in these videos because I know that the throat clear. It's something that a lot of the perpetrators use to get the target's attention. So anyway, I know earlier I posted a video of the events that took place yesterday. So here's what happened today. I woke up in a panic. I was really panicking and I was afraid, and it felt like someone was in the apartment. Like I felt like I was being watched. I felt like someone was there. All right, I felt a presence, and I was about to get up and look in the closet and look in the pantries and and then I told myself to just calm down, relax, don't be paranoid. And then I chastised myself for saying that to myself because in reality, this type of attack is to make us to keep us in a constant state of fight or flight, right? We're in constant survival mode. It's meant to keep us afraid and anxious, whether we're home or outside, right? They come into our home and they'll open a window, or they'll move furniture around, or they'll open a window when it's raining, right? So all the stuff by the window gets destroyed, and that's not even the point. The point is just to let you know that they were there. They have access to your personal space, so you have no safe place to go, right? They'll have people, when you're out, make comments about things in your personal life or things that you said or did in private, right? It's meant to make you feel watched all the time, so that when you end up feeling watched all the time, you seem crazy, and you even start to think you're crazy, and you're not. It's a normal reaction to this type of abuse. The human mind was not meant to be in constant survival mode, constant fear, constant stress, constant anxiety. It's going to have an impact, a lasting impact, physically, psychologically, emotionally, on our nervous system, right? So even when no one's there, we're going to be panicky. So that's how I woke up this morning. It was like around dusk, and I didn't sleep well last night either. I woke up a few times during the night, but I did sleep more than normally, so that was good. Let's see. Okay, fast forward. I went out and I took a different way this time. I took the bus, and there are a lot of different ways I could get to where I was going. I took a certain bus this time, and a guy got on, and I was sitting in the back, and so he couldn't give the little cough under his throat or make a comment referencing something in my personal life, right? He couldn't do that to get my attention because he sat up front. But what he did do was look at me, look at his phone, look back at me. That's the cue, right? What's he doing, right? He's smirking. So that got my attention. So he sits down. Right away, he lifts his hand, it goes to his face, he does the tap on the nose, right? They'll do that when they'll pass me, like they'll do the double tap, or they'll do the, under the nose tap. And then he starts mimicking my gestures, and like, they will do it in an over-exaggerated way to make it seem like I look crazy when I'm doing it. But even that exaggerated, it's still meant to look normal, like so that people won't think that they're actually doing anything. So that when the target gets angry or starts shouting, the target looks crazy. The target looks violent, right? So that's what he did. He was mimicking my mannerisms. They all do. And then he opened his mouth really wide to give a very, very fake yawn. And this is something they'll do sometimes because I have asthma. I mean, since I was a child, I've had trouble breathing. A teenager. I had asthma. Probably by this point I have COPD. I don't know. Maybe I do. It feels like I do. It's oxygen hunger, where it feels like I can't get enough oxygen, and so I sigh a lot, and I'll try to, I'll yawn, but sometimes I can't take a full breath, and so I'll keep doing it to keep trying to get oxygen. And so what they'll have people do is they'll have them come in, open their mouth really, really wide, and then twist their jaw. Like in a really ugly way, like very over exaggerated, very twisted, very ugly, very creepy, right? And when they do that, it's usually an Eastern European looking male. Okay, so he was doing that, and he kept doing it repeatedly. Then looking at his phone, kind of looking back at me, doing the nose tap, just to, they're impressing upon the target that they are there, right? And you can't do anything. Like, they're there. You know that you come home and you find a window open. You come home and find furniture moved, right? They have people repeating things to you that you said in private. You know they're there. So at that point, all they have to do is continue letting you know they're there by repeating these gestures that you associate with them. And they don't have to curse you out. They don't have to do anything that will incriminate themselves. You're going to be anxious. Because they're part of that other group. It doesn't matter that he was just sitting there mimicking my gestures. That's a harmless act. The problem is he's part of the group that is doing other harmful things, right? And they're just letting me know that they're goddamn everywhere. It's like a vermin swarm, right? And it's revulsion is the feeling. They watch you in private. You know that they've seen you in private. And humans have evolved to feel revulsion toward infestation, right? And they are turning themselves into a human infestation. Okay, fast forward. I get off the bus. And I'm thinking, oh, please just let that be the only thing that's going to happen today. So I'm walking. And all of a sudden, I have that feeling again, the same feeling I had this morning. It felt like someone was watching me. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but like, it's when you feel watched and like the hair on the back of your neck stands up and you feel like something is there. You almost cringe and kind of you get the chills. It's a horrible feeling, right? I don't know. Do you guys experience that at all? Anyway, I felt that. And it made me turn around. I didn't just turn around. I whipped around. He's right there. Dude got off the bus with me. And not only was he walking in my direction, he was standing right behind me. He did not have to. I got off at the back of the bus. He got off at the front. So he would have actually had to walk really fast to get behind me that quickly. He was right behind me. To the point where I stopped in my tracks, he could have walked right into me. Yeah, that's how close he was. There was no reason for that. I looked at him. He looked at me, looked at his cell phone, looked back at me, raised his goddamn hand up to that goddamn nose, gave the tap. It's like they're letting you know, hey, yeah, we're here. What are you going to do about it? Knowing we can't do anything about it without incriminating ourselves, right? And it gets harder and harder to take it. Human instinct is to fight back. You can't just take it indefinitely, but we have to. And that's why so many people are snapping nowadays, because of what they're forced to shut up and take. At some point, they just explode. Right? The extreme violence I was feeling at that point was beyond comprehension. And I knew at that point that they wanted a reaction out of me right then, because they usually don't go that far. I mean, he literally was right behind me. And when I stopped, he stopped. I wasn't moving, he wasn't moving. At that point, we hadn't said anything yet. Then he made the gesture again. They wanted a reaction. They wanted a loud, violent reaction. They wanted it right then. I'm not going to say, well, I should have known. No, I did know. I did. I just could not help it at that point. I knew something was up. I figured there was probably someone else around who they wanted that person to watch me flip out, to discredit me even more. I knew. But I did. I did. I raised my voice at him. I said, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of my goddamn life. Get the fuck out of my life, or I will force you out of my life. He laughed. When I say he was on his phone, he wasn't on his phone. He was holding his phone. He texted something, right? And looked back up at me. He was chuckling to himself. Didn't say anything. We're standing there. We know what's happening. I know that I'm under this type of attack. He's right there trying to intimidate. I can't fucking do anything. At that point, I was thinking, you know what? Let society fall. Then I will be able to fucking do something, because law enforcement protects these sick fucks. But if we act to do anything, we're going to get arrested. Because it doesn't look like they're doing anything wrong. I had to take a deep breath, and I had to walk on. At that point, I'm screaming, get the fuck out of my life, you fucking vermin. And I'm walking on backwards. Some other guy wearing red is looking at me like I'm crazy, because that's what happens. You know, anytime you see someone screaming at one of these Eastern European males to get away from us, The person screaming to get away from me is the one who everybody looks at like that person is crazy. Yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately. I start walking on. He starts walking on. He gets right up by the side of me. We're shoulder to shoulder. We're literally shoulder to shoulder. Again, he had to walk really fast to catch up with me again, because by that point I was walking way backwards, yelling at him. He turns the corner. Then he turns the corner and I don't. And by that point, I am hysterical. I'm screaming at him. I know he wants me to follow him, screaming and shouting. I should have known better, but I did anyway. I followed him. I didn't follow him, but I followed him around the corner. And I'm still screaming. Keep your fucking vermin horde away from me. Right? Keep your fucking herd, your pack, your fucking vermin. Keep your fucking bros away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Stay the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my fucking life. I'm screaming at that point. And then I noticed what was there. The cameras were there. see, Chicago is one of the most heavily surveilled cities in the U.S., yeah. The cameras were there. That's why he did all of that and then turned that way. He knew what I would do. So yeah. Okay, I walk on. A little bit later, a car stops in front of me. He's got the light to go. There's no one in front of him. He could go. He doesn't go. He stops. He smirks, grins from ear to ear, and then goes. I don't know if he knew what had happened before, or if he was just told to go here and when you see this person, smirk at them, smile at them, make sure you look as condescending as possible. I don't know. I think some of the perpetrators, they're just told to go and smirk and laugh at the target. They're not actually told what happened before that. Others might know, right? But the target is meant to think that they're all involved. They all know what happened and they're laughing about it. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened today. Self-control, guys. Because what they want is a violent response. They want to make us look crazy. They want to make us seem violent. They want us to act out in violence. Right? Our day will come, but it's not here yet. The law is still protecting these vermin. Whereas if we do anything, we will get arrested. So wait for that day to come. And right now, we can do what we're doing, which is document what we can and tell people, try to get the word out.